Hello everyone, I am Professor Dr. Tan Yishin, Minister of Defense Malaysia. Today our topic is, should Malaysia reopen border during COVID-19? So this is what basically we will be going through. The first one, introductions. Next, precedents, some actions, methods, and the last one, conclusion. So for introductions, I will explain the meaning of terms in my topic. So what is the meaning of border and COVID-19? Actually, border refers to a line separating country, states, districts, cities, and towns. While as we all know, COVID comes from the word coronavirus disease, and 19 is representing the outbreak here. It is an infectious disease. Today, we will discuss should or should not Malaysia's borders reopen as usual during this COVID-19 pandemic. So, before going through the more details, I think that it is important to know about the significance of border for a country. So border not only means that change of political power between places. Actually, there are also huge economic exchange every day between borders of countries through ports. For instance, I buy things from shopping platforms like Shopee and Lazada. Those things must ship from overseas countries like China. So this is one of the examples of economic exchange. So let us move on with current issues about the status of border in other country and our country. So for United States, border between United States with Canada and Mexico will not be open to non-essential travel in 1 month. And the news reported in 16 November 2020, China has limited the country that can enter even with visa. On the other side, our country, Malaysia, our Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin announced that Malaysia will not reopen borders for current situation. And a news reported in 28 October 2020, Malaysia government is negotiating with Singapore to reopen borders. So here is some examples of country that has reopened their border. So the first one, Ireland. In 21 July 2020, Ireland decided to reopen border. The COVID-19 test and 14 days of quarantine is required for every country except few nation status. Those nation is basically named as green nation. This means that they have just a few of positive COVID-19 cases reported every day. And for the second country is Mexico. On 8 June 2020, Mexico has opened its border to all countries. So COVID-19 certificates for entry and 14 days of quarantine is not required. So next, we move on to actions, which is basically my suggestions if Malaysia's border reopen during COVID-19. So for the first one, just allow them who have special reasons, like have emergency cases in their company in Malaysia. And they must have the entry approval from government of Malaysia. And the second one, quarantine measure like COVID-19 test and 14 days of quarantine is needed once they enter the border of Malaysia. And the third one, sanitize ports every day to get rid of imported cases. So I did some library research and found that there are pros and cons in reopen border for our country during COVID-19. So opening of border allow maritime trade and cross-border transport to move on as usual. So it brings advantage to our country as our economic growth will be maintained. And for the disadvantage, coronavirus can also spread by imported meat. It is a real news reported in 13 November 2020. So opening of borders means we might increase the risk of getting more and more imported cases. And 5 interviews will be conducted among 2 international students, 1 college student, 1 businessman, and 1 doctor through online voice interview. For surveys are done through Google Forms and 20 surveys will be collected without the restrictions of age. So in conclusion, in my opinion, prevention is better than cure. So Malaysia should reopen borders during COVID-19, but with certain limitations. Malaysia should reopen borders during COVID-19. This is my references list and this is my interview questions and schedule. That's all from me. Thank you.